House of Consciousness presents Street Consciousness at its best with Brother True Master, Alim Bey, Red Pill and the Blue Pill. In this segment, we're going to deal with sexual energies, cloning, and a whole lot of other stuff, brothers and sisters, so stay tuned. Without any further ado, I'll bring it to you. But before that, I have to apologize to my brother Professor Larry. He came out his mouth sideways, and I had to hit him right where it came out at. So I apologize to you, Professor Larry. You are still my brother. Let's look past that. So now, without any further ado, here we go.
In the Beyond the Indigo children, I show how biotechnology, which is the new revolution on the horizon, they've already realized that evolution didn't occur the way we was taught in school. Okay, you have Java, Neanderthal, Cro-Magnon, modern European, right? But what they realize now is that that was not an organic process. That was the result of the intervention of biotechnology in ancient times by our ancestors who actually engineered these people. Now, what they also understand now is that as our DNA is starting to turn on, not evolve, but reactivate itself, because there are circuit breakers in your DNA called codons. The children that are being born now have 4 additional codons activated in their DNA. So what's taking place now is a reactivation of these codons, and they realize that in order for them to keep up, they have to receive upgrades through DNA. Now, like I said, on the horizon after the information age is biotechnology, and the so-called obsolete black man will be the prime commodity and the source of all that new technology. Now, the human, it's all based on your DNA because you are the original man, and you have encoded within your DNA information that allows you to make these shifts that's taking place right now.
In terms of cloning technology, again, I did another article, you know what I'm saying, where they surmise from, they finally jumped, they perfected the dolly process.
What's that?
The shit that they did with the dolly sheep.
Yeah,
the clone they did.
Right.
So they got a new process, a new in vitro process, where it's like a 3-step process. And they said with that, it's easy now. I just did that. That news came out 2 weeks ago.
So you go back to the pedo, what you talking about?
Yeah, all of this is happening at the same time.
Right.
But this particular one that they cracked, they was like, yeah, with this one we can do the babies now. So they're asking scientists to deal with it morally. Look, you know y'all got the technology now, just don't do it. You know what I'm saying? But they saying, nah, you know, if somebody wanted to murk off and do their thing, the science is actually in place now to do it, which means it's already been done.
Yeah.
Just prepping.
Well, Adolf Hitler was utilizing that type of information back in the 1930s. Joseph Mengele and all of them was already working on cloning techniques, intro fertilization methods, and artificial insemination. This isn't something new.
So basically, through cloning is how they found their origin, because they were in the search for their origin.
So in times of crisis, should black people be worried, or should black people just seek more information?
Black
and how do we go about it? Say that again?
Black people need to breathe. Breathe.
Okay.
Yeah, the reason why, because all of the so-called
Black power.
All of the sacred text speaks about the holy breath. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's being breathed on you, like Jesus breathed on his disciples, you know what I'm saying, in the upper room, or whether in the Holy Quran, Circle 7, it speaks about the holy breath. The science is the breath. That's how you tap into those levels of consciousness in which that we just broke down earlier. It's through the science of breath. The more that you slow down your breath, the deeper you tap into those various conscious states. You know what I'm saying? At 3 breaths a minute, you tap into magnetic consciousness. That's where you're able to bring any and everything that you want to manifest into existence. You know what I'm saying? From the astral plane, which is the star plane, here to the physical plane. You know what I'm saying? So we got to learn how to breathe properly. You know what I'm saying? We breathe too fucking shallow.
Absolutely. And we have a reverse perception on how we're supposed to deal with our sexual energy, because we think we're supposed to be getting the best enjoyment from busting off. And that's totally degenerative, my dude. You are not supposed to be busting off when you have sex unless you want seeds. Your sperm is the quintessence of life. It has, you know, it's the most precious thing on the planet, yo. So you gotta be able to breathe from your lower abdomen and rechannel that energy back up to your higher centers, because when you bust off, you're pulling on energy from all your vital organs. So if you're able to recycle that energy, it actually charges you back up.
Yeah, Dr. Ann Brown told me at one of the lectures I did, the Fallen Angels, Return of the Ancient Ones, she was sitting in there and we was going over, and I was speaking on the fact that that semen is brain fluid. 21% cerebral fluid is in your semen. 21%. That means that you're pulling energy from your brain in order to produce semen. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's going into the creativity and the intellectual level of the child that you attempted to create into existence.
And also check this out. You think that when you have sex with a woman, that the pleasure you feel depends on her. It's all in your mind and it's dealing with your own energy.
That's right.
You actually are feeling your own energy.
Your own energy.
The way you know you're feeling your own energy is that once you ejaculate, it don't feel sweet no more, because your body gotta rebuild the sperm back up. So you feeling your own self, like as if you was masturbating. Same difference. So the whole science says you don't bust off, because when you bust off, G, you're losing too much vitality.
So you have an internal orgasm?
Called ejaculation.
Or at least.
How do you get that information?
Here's the question. Go ahead. Say it again, brother.
Because 7 times.
I heard this a lot of times, but
Listen.
how do we get that information? The science.
DVD right over there.
All right, yeah.
Get it. Go get it. Go get it. Go get it.
It's a process. It's a process. It's a technique. It's a technique.
The science of it, though.
Huh?
Like, we hear the lecture.
No, we just explain the science of it. It's a technique. You know what I'm saying? You gotta practice it and you'll get it. It's.
I know. I understand what I'm saying, but I'm just saying, like, a lot of people are going through economic hardship now, and they don't know how to get out of it. That's all now, because they're locked into the matrix.
No. Right now, what we talk
what
about.
What are practical steps you can tell black people around here on how they
Tantric. You can start with tantric.
As far as,
that's a good way of.
as far as
You can get these, or you can get this joint. When I was a teenager, this older sister gave me a book called Cultivating Male Sexual Energy by Mantalk Chia. Changed my life. I've been using this since I was 18 years old.
Internal Alchemy.
It makes you so much more vital, because again, it's hard discipline. You know what I'm saying? But it makes you more vital, G. When you can have intercourse, don't bust off and get up. You actually feel invigorated. When a boxer is training, he can't bust off because he's going to be weak.
Right.
So what's the reconciling of that? Having sex and not busting off.
If you do have sex, circulate the energy at least 7
All right, brother
times.
Alim, can you explain to the viewers over here? Because some of us can't do it.
Right.
How do you stop yourself from ejaculating when you come into that point? How do you stop yourself?
Well, actually, for those in which that want to practice it, actually you will want to actually stop before you even get to the sensation of busting off, so that you can know that, okay, I'm getting ready to get to that point, I'm gonna stop. Instead of waiting till right at that point and then stop it.
But see, when you stop, sometimes your lady might say, "What the hell you doing, baby? What you doing?"
That's if you're in the beginning stages, you haven't developed the breathing technique.
Right.
You gotta stop.
Right.
But if you know how to breathe, this is another thing. When you bust off, right before you bust off, you have stopped breathing and you don't realize it. Start breathing again. If you feel yourself getting excited, you gotta catch yourself, because you're forgetting to breathe. You cannot ejaculate without holding your breath.
Right.
This is another science. So whenever you're about to ejaculate, you gotta go, oh shit, I'm not breathing.
Right.
Start breathing, but remember to breathe from your lowest diaphragm.
Right.
From down here.
And also, in order to help,
You wanna breathe from down here.
take your eyes and put them up towards the look up towards look up.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And that will also, when you get ready to do it, look up. You know what I'm saying? And that will also help with the stoppage of the ejaculation, as well as also doing what is called a deer exercise technique, which is actually pulling up your anal muscles and tightening your buttocks, you know what I'm saying, before you do so.
Your perineum is the big vein that go down your joint, the big vein that goes down your joint and go under your nuts, right behind your nuts. If you can't hold it and you feel you about to bust, but you want to hold that seed, take your 3 fingers, put them on that vein. That vein, that big ass vein under your nuts is where everything come out of.
Right.
And in the book, it tells you, even if you haven't mastered the techniques, it's better to hold your shit.
And also, there's an inch, like right below the nipple, on the right nipple, you can point right there also, at that area, you can do what is called acupressure. And that will also stop you from releasing also. You know what I'm saying? So there's various methods.
Now also, once you holding the sperm in, the key to regenerative, because the sexual organs are called the regenerative organs, the key to regenerating yourself is breathing and drawing that energy back up into your higher centers. Because once it's in a sperm form, you now got to cook it back into a gas so it can go up your spinal column. So what you got to do is breathe from down here. And while you breathing, you imagine and sucking the energy up into the microcosmic orbit. You do it 7 times, G.
That's what Kundalini yoga.
You do it 7 times, you can feel it. You can feel it. It cooks the sperm back into a gas, and then you can draw it back up your spine like a straw, up to your crown, back down. Put your tongue on your palate to close the circuit. You draw it up, you draw it down. You can store it right here. When you start doing that, G, I don't even work out like I used to and got rocks, G, because it's all internal chi. And even though I ain't big like I was, I know how to make my bone marrow stronger. And breathing, like he said, science of breath is everything. Because when it's a real hot sunny day, G, you go out in the sun, draw tremendous amounts of chi right into your navel. You can draw it right into your nuts. You know what I'm saying? Where's the apartment? One of the windows is right where the sun come up. Whenever I get that sun come up, I do 10 minutes of this. Just 10 minutes a day.
Right.
Will have you so solid. This is iron shirt right here, Jay.
That's also called
10 minutes a day. Hugging the tree.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You keep your back straight. You can start out by leaning on the wall. You lean on the wall to get your back straight. Leg, shoulder lift apart.
Right. Also slightly bent.
Slightly tuck in, slightly bend the neck down, right? Arm, shoulder width, you're closing the circuit.
And what that does?
Just breathe. It strengthens your bone marrow. It forces your body to breathe.
And also it improves your thymus gland, which is your lymphatic system, your lymph nodes. You know what I'm saying? It also improves your heart. You know what I'm saying? Because actually what you're doing is actually sending energy from here to here and circulating it back. That's what you're doing. So like if you do it here, at this area, you know what I'm saying? You're sending the energy from your palms to your third eye, back to your palm again. You do it here, you send it from your palms to your heart to your palm again. And then you do it lower.